Well, hey, Motor Warriors, instead of going straight down 11E, thought we'd come through Grainville. And I forgot how messed up the traffic is here, or I probably would have went the other way. But Andrew Johnson, I'm sure y'all have heard of him. His house is down this way. Like I said, on some other stuff, there's a lot of things I'd love to show you about my old neck of the woods here, but because of the rain, I'm not really in the mood to get out and walk around and whatever. And the storm is only going to get worse, so I don't want to spend too much time messing around. But I just thought I'd bring you through. Thought I'd bring you through here and show you kind of what Grainville, Tennessee looks like. And a lot of this stuff hasn't changed in I don't know how long. It is an interesting little town. Actually, what I should do is just take you through downtown and then skedaddle, get back up on the road and head towards the interstate. There's some areas of Tennessee where the police are, you know, pretty laid back, and unless you're doing something real stupid, they'll leave you alone. But then there's other areas where, you know, they're just looking for something to get you on. And I know when I used to live in the area, Grainville was like that, but I don't know if it's changed. I mean, things change and people change and buildings change. This all fancied up. I don't remember it looking like that. Huh. Walter State Community College. I don't even remember that. At least looking like that. You know, they're building more buildings. No wonder I see it is new. That's why I look at they're still working on it. Now that's been here. Look at that place, man. It looks like an old castle, huh? It's pretty cool. There's a police station. I wonder if somebody's in the back of his police car. If it wasn't raining, I'd love to show folks around some more. But I don't want to mess around. Some of the roads in Tennessee, if you've ever been here in the rain, some of them are so slick. Even when they're dry, there's times I've stopped at stop signs, put my foot down, and it's dry, and it'll slip. Okay, hang on a minute here. Where's... Right there's Andrew Johnson's home. Okay, well, that's still there. Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, I'm not going to get out and walk around or anything, but I'm just showing the folks Andrew Johnson's home. If you don't know who he is, look it up. Andrew Johnson. But anyway, there's a lot of places, man, I'd like to show y'all. I wanted to take you and show you where Davy Crockett was born. And there's some pretty cool stuff that I'd like to show you. There's a lot of history in this part of Tennessee. And I'm just going to go back out. There's downtown also goes to the left, but I want to get back on the highway because that storm is getting worse coming. But anyway, that's downtown Grainville. It goes up over the ridge right there, a little ways. Just you get up, and then there's like a church right up over the top of that. When you go down that ridge, there's a church there, and then whatever. And then you go this way, and you get this. And then that's about it. That old church been here a long time. And if you kind of get the idea, you can see that's Andrew Johnson Bank. You get an area, and I'm sure it's like that everywhere. You know, somebody famous was born there or lived there or whatever. And all of a sudden it's, you know, Andrew Johnson this, Andrew Johnson that, Andrew Johnson this, Andrew Johnson that, you know. And but it's the same everywhere. I have no doubt about that at all. There's another old church right there. And some of the older churches, I know it's like that in Johnson City, and I would have showed you, but there, in Johnson City there's an old, I think it's a Presbyterian church, and like I said, I think it's a Presbyterian, or as I met a pastor from a Presbyterian church one time many years ago, and he said, as we call it, the frozen chosen. I thought that was funny. But anyway, that church, it's really old, and it's like made out of big rocks and whatever. It's pretty good size, but it's all rock and stuff. It's a pretty interesting church. Well, then I met a man that actually went to that church one time, and he wasn't a Christian, but he was searching, and he wanted to know more about God. And he went into the church. He was telling me that when he went in, and the offering went by, he didn't have any money, and so he just kind of like passed the plate on, and the deacon standing there or whatever, the usher, saw it, and when the church was over, he told this guy, don't come back. And the guy was like, what do you mean don't come back? And he said, if you've got nothing for the Lord's got nothing for you. I'm like, holy cow, man. You know, freely you have received, freely give. And I mean, it just blew my mind that any church would tell somebody that. That just blows my mind. And then I thought, well, you know, it's pretty sad, but there are people that anywhere around the world that say they're Christians, but they sure don't act like Christians. You know, to tell somebody not to come back because they didn't put money in the offering. Oh, I would never go to a church like that. Now, I got to tell you the story about Grainville. And we were living in, I think we were living in Limestone or something at the time. And I called some place that I wanted to go pick up something from. I forget what it was, like some special jam or honey. I forget what it was, but they were just outside of Grainville. And when I called, when I called, I was actually in Grainville. I went from Limestone into Grainville, and I called, and the lady said, and I asked for directions, and she was like, where are you coming from? And I said, well, you know, there's a little dip right there. I didn't see that in the road. It started to slide. But anyway, she asked me where I was calling from, and I said, well, I'm in town here. And she said, what town? And I said, Grainville. And she said, where? And I said, Grainville. And there was a pause. She said, where? And I said, Grainville. And I thought maybe she didn't understand my accent. And she's like, where? Again. And I'm like, Grainville, you know, like Greenville, like green with an extra E, Ville. And she went, oh, Grainville, you're calling from Grainville? And I'm like, holy crap, man. She couldn't understand Grainville because she says Grainville, like grain, you know. And I just thought that was so funny. And I'm like, you know, people here in Tennessee sometimes can't even understand each other. I thought that was funny. And as we're coming here through Grainville, I thought I'd share that with you. I'm going through Grainville, or Grainville. And it's like, oh yeah, Grainville. Then she gave me directions, and it's like, I don't know, it's just funny. And it's like people, you know, people think everybody in the South talks the same, and everybody has a real strong accent and whatever. And I've mentioned this before, you know, because of school and my parents and stuff, I try not to. But sometimes I get talking and I forget that I ain't supposed to, you know, ain't supposed to talk like this. But I forget to speak clearly so people can understand me. And a lot of it depends on who I'm talking to or the frame of mind I'm in or whatever. If I'm really paying attention, you'll hear my videos and I won't have any accent at all. or much of one. But anyway, that's, you know, that's Grainville. That's the way people are here in Grainville. Some of them will have an accent so strong that they can't understand you when you say Grainville, you know. And I just think that's kind of funny. Anyway, Motor Warriors, we're about to get up this way. And so I reckon I'll talk to y'all later. And remember, live your life with the heart of a Viking warrior. Bye for now.